Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Again, sorry for the difficulties some of you guys are having in Module 3. We'll hopefully get those fixed. I wanted to kind of go over my assessment of Module 2. I just got done going through everything, the homework answers, the discussion boards, and I just want to say I'm very thrilled, very impressed with the level of engagement and the answers to some of your guys' questions. What I'm going to do here is let me just talk first verbally about some of the discussion boards. So Danny Boyd moderated the discussion thread on shopping cart abandonment, and again, thought it was a great assessment, Danny, and it sounded like some very good discussion going on the discussion forum. And obviously, I think shipping was the main reason, high cost of shipping, the main reason for abandoning that cart. And again, not a surprise. But I totally enjoyed the fact that Danny gave a shout out to 3 of your classmates, Sarah Dalton, for one, for kind of coming up with a couple of unique ideas, one of which was the hashtag Free Shipping Friday, which I thought was pretty clever. Darren Curry specifically called out the need to have more tablet-friendly web designs, which I think that's a good point, Darren, because I think a lot of times they just clump mobile together in general and don't necessarily think of, let's say, an iPad versus an iPhone sometimes. So definitely something that can easily be done because we know how you're visiting the site. And then Laura McGrath talked a little bit about Amazon and the fact that Amazon does reach back to you when you abandon a cart by sending you a reminder email and also some incentives. And of course, you guys know I am not a proponent of incentives by any means. I'm not one to like to reward somebody for bad behavior. But however, if an assessment of that testing strategy works and it pays out, then I think that's great. So good job, Danny. And guys, I hope you enjoy his voice thread, and I will have that posted for you guys. Monique did a great job assessing the discussion around her article on the Twitter buy button. Again, thought it was kind of interesting, a con for seller and a con for the buyer. Con for seller is they could oversaturate if they're not careful and kind of fatigue, and if they start putting too many ads in the Twitter stream, it could have detrimental effects, because I think we all know Twitter is not necessarily known to be a selling platform per se. It's a great way to provide quick tidbits of information, news, and communicate with other people. So that will be interesting to see what happens on that front. And then I thought the other thing which was kind of interesting was it could be an interesting way for celebrities to sell products. So I immediately thought of, when Monique mentioned that, like Kim Kardashian, when she's tweeting out about her clothesline or something along those lines, it would be pretty great that she could just have the buy button right there when she's got a photo, you know, in the tweet of one of her new fashions. Haley did a phenomenal job as well on the discussion thread. Again, kind of talking about kind of millennials and how companies are going to have to talk with them differently, and they are much more tech savvy and tend to be more early adopters. I was kind of impressed at the kind of the depth of the discussion that appeared on the forum there, and again, how millennials are going to be reacting to marketing. And then again, there was another shout out in there to Sarah Dalton as well on the other question where Haley was asking how that particular article she posted reminded you of the new role of the CMO, and it all came down to being authentic. And Haley specifically said she was, as I were, impressed with Sarah's discussion on that. So if you didn't see that, you might want to go back and take a look at that particular conversation that Sarah Dalton had put on there and what her thinking was. So again, excellent job, guys, and I can't wait to see the discussion forums. for this coming week when we are done. Let's see. So let me also pull up. I'm going to go and change to my desktop here. And let me go back here. I'm going to shift and I'm going to go over to here where I have the answers for Module 2, and I will post these as well for you guys. And again, nothing overly difficult. I think it's just making sure and trying to help you guys reinforce the topics that we discussed. So that first question was talking about the new social CMO video and the 5 steps to guide your marketing communication teams. Again, it was be that guy, which is, listen, and then respond appropriately. Take a stand for something you believe in instead of talking about your product qualities. Again, I think that comes back to what Haley had said earlier, which is, again, be authentic. Let your advocates in your community talk about the brand, not the PR team. The one that I really liked as well was, again, become today's Tom Sawyer. Convince somebody that they are going to enjoy the work. So again, tell a good story. Then you can ask your advocates to go to work for you and promote the product. Provide cultural acupuncture, grow the social communities and media assets, cultivate them to advocate for you, join the party instead of throwing the party. Okay, so that's what we're talking about there. And then lastly, it was redefine ROI, which is important. It's not all about monetary value here. You're building trust in a brand, you're building advocacy, and being very authentic again. So it's redefining that ROI, kind of your brand equity indicator. On that second question I asked you, it was about the other video redefinition of traditional media models by Todd. And again, I was just wanting you to list 5 of the points that resonated most with you. Again, 5 points that I just kind of put here, and again, you might have some slightly different ones, is with the onset of digital and social media, nothing traditional dies. So it's not a one or the other. Remember, they all work together, which I thought he said that very well. Let's see, one of the other ones is you need to throw lots of pebbles in the water to make an impact. So again, what we're really kind of talking about here is content. So there's lots of stuff going on out there, right? A lot of things vying for your guys' attention and my attention as well. So again, we've got to be really good at kind of catching somebody's attention with those pebbles that are going to really cause a ripple effect. Again, the crisis communication mantra from Microsoft I thought was really good and loved it. It's like, if you make a mistake, embrace and extend it. Own it, talk about it, be transparent, say you identified the problem, apologize, and just move on. So a perfect plan in place. Another thing there that was interesting is the change in the media model affects the types of employees that you have. So this kind of comes back to, if you guys were at the Social at Scale conference, this kind of comes back to kind of what I talked about, the digital dream team. And I do give you a link here of an article that you guys can kind of read on your own. And let me just kind of pull up my one slide, that a couple slides that I did when I was presenting at the Social at Scale. Again, where are the jobs? So just basically talking about the new realignment of forces in marketing, the digital dream team. You have your creative designers that are getting into usability testing. You've got your web designers, which are building the website, web tracking, web metrics. Your data team, very important, right? Attribution modeling, really key here, correct? So again, it's getting it right. We've got the social media team, your community managers, your content development managers, and again, we all know it's all about the content. And then of course, search is always important. Over 50% of the digital budget is search. And so that's kind of, helps wrap it up a little bit. Now, the other thing I shared at the conference, and I'll just go ahead and show you here as well, I went into Google Trends and did some searches on certain job related themes like social media marketing, data analytics, cybersecurity, cloud storage. And again, you can see all those are upward in terms of trending. You look at these sort of areas, TV advertising, internet marketing, letter shop, space ads, print advertising, all of those are decreasing, are relatively flat. And not really on the upswing. And then you look at C-suite titles, the traditional ones like Chief Information Officer, CFO, or CMO, again, all pretty flat, not overly dynamic. Then what are the things that we're talking about now? Chief Customer Officer, Chief Data Officer, Chief Revenue Officer. And again, right, because you know where it's all at, right? It's about that customer experience, having the right data at hand and knowing how to use it to ensure you have a good customer experience, and making sure that we can prove to the CMO, again, that we're getting a good return on our investment. So just kind of interesting and wanted to share that with you guys. Okay, let's go back here then. One of the other points made here, again, that I highlighted, we're only at the beginning of social media. So keep in mind, you know, eventually this is going to become mainstream and it's going to be something else. So what's interesting is at my advisory board meeting, 2 Fridays ago, I'd actually mentioned to the dean that I would love to have an off-site meeting with all the marketing professors. And let's just pretend like we don't even have a marketing curriculum at the moment. And let's just reverse engineer what would a marketing curriculum look like today, and just start from scratch, and not trying to force in this class that I'm teaching or that class or this concept. Let's just rethink it and redefine what marketing means, because it is really marketing at the end of the day. Let's see, on the question on crossing the chasm, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I think you guys did for the most part. Really kind of interesting and a cool concept. And yes, and most of you guys did agree, social media is going to make it much easier to make that jump from the early adopters to the early majority, correct? Social media is going to really allow us to broadcast things much more broadly than what we could do in the old days. And again, with finding those influential bloggers, all of that sort of stuff. So really kind of a neat concept to think about. The last question was the cross-shopping behavior, what it means to you. Again, cross-shopping, again, as we all know, means multiple channels and devices while shopping, or considering making that purchase. And again, this is, again, what causes that issue with campaign attribution, correct, that we talk about. It's being able to properly figure out who to give credit for that sale to at the end of the day. But that's not what this question is necessarily asking about, but this cross-shopping behavior contributes to the problems that we have in terms of really understanding, you know, what channel, what device is driving the sales per se. So anyway, excellent job all in all, guys. I was very, very pleased with how everything went. Let me just bring this back here to me. And here we are. Okay, and I think, let me see, I don't think there was anything else I was going to pull up here. So I will post the three discussion threads that I went over. I will post the answers to the homework, and I think we are good. Hopefully tomorrow, Monday, the 6th, because again, I don't know when you guys are going to look at this, Hootsuite will get back to me on why that the SCDM 110 exam is not there, which was going to be your practice quiz prior to taking the real quiz. As I said, when I click on the link, it takes me there. But when I do look at the list of all the quizzes that are there and the exams that are there, I don't see it. And so obviously they must have removed it. Why? I'm still able to click on it. I don't know, maybe because I was able to take it at one point in time. That we will figure it out, and I'm sure they'll get back to me first thing Monday. And look, worst case, guys, if they don't get it back, unfortunately, you'll just have to take the exam without the quiz, without the practice questions, and I apologize for that, but I'm sure they will be able to accommodate me and us get that back. So wow, so a lot of stuff, and I know you guys are working away hard on this module 3, and just be prepared. I believe module 4, we are going to start Hootsuite in addition. So in addition to everything you guys are doing now week to week, we're going to be tossing Hootsuite training in there also. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. The other thing I would like to just ask you guys is if any of you guys would like to be involved in the marketing club. I would love to have a couple more members that would like to participate and help on certain events, like the speed networking event, help with our conference in April, where we are going to be doing a job fair and an intern fair. Again, look at these as great networking opportunities. The marketing club is really growing quickly. We've formed an AMA collegiate membership, and again, doing a lot of things that I could use a few more MBA student hands, basically, to help the undergrads with these particular activities. So would love to see 1 or 2 or 3 of you guys step up. Danny Boyd has joined and is going to help out on a committee or 2 here or there. Again, not looking for major time commitments from anybody, but would love to have a couple more of you guys jump in. And if you're interested, send me an email or post it in Bonfire, and would be more than happy to talk with you guys a little bit more about it. But look at it as a great opportunity to network. And you put in as much time as you can put in. But we just need help with different things, again, like programming, getting our guest speakers here, you know, dealing with logistical things like that, and stuff along those lines. Okay, let's see. I think that's it. Okay, and I will see you guys very soon.